It's still October, and I'm still reviewing it.
That's me!
You all remember my friend Josh, right?
So fucking motherfucker!
Yeah, that motherfucker. Well, he's dead. No, I'm just kidding. I only bring him up because he made an honest attempt to help me find another movie for my October Horror-thon. But his first attempts were just regular mediocre movies. It's no fun to talk about them. I can't just put out a video that's 10 seconds long of me saying, it was fine, I guess? Like, comment, subscribe. I need to review movies that have a little substance. And what that usually equates to is garbage. Well, Josh had me covered there as well when he recommended today's movie. But what did I think about it? Well, that's a surprise. And what that usually equates to is garbage. Spoiler alert. Today's movie is called Apartment 1303. Our focus in this movie is on a troubled family comprised of a failed musician named Maddie and her two daughters Laura and Janet. The movie starts as Janet is moving out, after Maddie apparently tries to murder her by accidentally hitting her with a guitar this one time when she was turning around. Hey, that's what the movie said. Well, Janet goes and finds the only apartment complex that actually admits that they have a 13th floor, and specially requests the room that has the highest history with murder-suicides, leading her to room 1303. But this room has a killer view, as the movie won't stop telling us. But the room also has a killer ghost, that eventually throws Janet off the balcony. So Laura moves in, because why the hell not? And Laura soon finds out that the ghost didn't only have a vendetta against the previous tenant, but against any tenant. And about an hour later, Laura regrets the decision to move into the apartment that killed her sister. The end. So now is where I tell you what I thought of the movie. And what that usually equates to is garbage. Yeah, he's right. So my quest from this point on is to try to tell you all the things that occurred to me during this movie while trying to find some silver lining. So here we go. There really isn't much to say about the story here. It's mostly a basic horror haunting movie that they tried to make longer for some reason with a bunch of stupid and pointless side plots. For instance, the mom barely needs to exist and certainly doesn't need to exist as much as she does. And her music career was the most pointless thing of all. Her being a former musician has nothing to do with the movie, and only serves to raise questions for me about how someone that was a one-hit wonder decades ago can afford to live in such a nice house. I bet Dexy's Midnight Runners don't roll like that. And the super secret spoiler that her boyfriend turns out to be a cop also serves no purpose. Ghosts don't care if you're a cop. You could just be some random douchebag boyfriend for all Ghost cares. In this movie's defense, a horror movie doesn't really need to impress with their story to be successful. It's really more about how well they create tension and how often they scare the audience. And this movie doesn't pull that off either. The first thing that occurred to me is that this movie is painfully unsubtle and rushes way too hard into their attempts to scare us. Janet's one of the main characters and she gets killed right away in this movie. And that ghost does not fuck around. Ain't nobody got time for that. Most movies have ghosts build up to this kind of thing. They move furniture, then they open cabinets, and then they kill your cat or something. Not this ghost. This ghost kicks open your door and throws you against the wall on the first night, and then throws you out a window on the second night. Another thing that kept amusing me about this movie is that they had scenes where the ghost lady was just walking around, and the actors had to act like they couldn't see her. There's someone in here. What makes it worse is that sometimes they can see her and sometimes they can't. But we as the audience always can. And then it's just left up to their acting abilities to tell us if they can see her or not. So, how's the acting then? Segue! There were two people in this movie that caused me so much pain that I almost couldn't make it through the movie. And that's Maddie and Janet. Janet's main weapon was her semi-constant desire to talk to herself. It got to the point where I was surprised that herself didn't tell her to shut the fuck up. I didn't count, but I guarantee you that she talks to herself more than she talks to any other character in this movie combined. And what's worse is that even though Julian Michelle is a fairly attractive lady, she took part in the first time I can recall ever saying they should have removed this sex scene. It served no purpose, showed no boobies, and actually made me feel a little uncomfortable. Because unlike most movies where all you hear during a sex scene is the music and heavy breathing, Janet dirty talks like she's in a porn. Not that I've ever seen a porn.
You're a naughty girl. Oh yeah? What do you need to punish me?
And the only reason I can think of for it to have happened in the first place is to get the boyfriend in the apartment when Janet gets killed, so that later Laura can accuse him of killing her. And also, when Laura accuses him of beating Janet, Why is his best defense that he liked her? Weren't you out of town the day they found bruises on her? That's a pretty good excuse. I've already talked about my problems with Maddie when I talked about how she served no purpose and shouldn't have existed. But she was also a bitch. I mean, I know that's what they were going for, but they went hard at it. And Laura could have been a little bit better at firing back insults at her. Like when she was saying,
"You've been jealous of her since the day she was born. She was always so good at everything."
yeah, well, she wasn't that good at picking apartments. Or boyfriends. I didn't have that many problems with Laura, at least not in comparison to Janet and Maddie. But I'm sure that anybody watching this movie is going to simultaneously call her an idiot the second she decides to keep Janet's apartment the day after she mysteriously dies in it. Oh, I did have a problem with her, and it was this scene. Oh, come on, you didn't really kill her? Fucking tease. And the last person I'll bother with is this little girl. She's a rude little shit.
I just came by to say hi to you and your mom. And also, I was hoping to borrow a corkscrew. A girl in 1303 jumped off the balcony and died.
So that's a no then? I have a bit of a dilemma because I believe I promised you guys that there would be a silver lining to this movie, and I haven't quite delivered on that yet. Laura wasn't that annoying, and Janet and Laura were kind of pretty. There you go. 10 out of 10 movie of the year. The not scary, poorly acted, waste of time movie of the year. Thanks for coming. Wait! Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and if you have anything you'd like me to review, don't forget to leave it in the comments below or on my Facebook fan page. And I will see you next time. My name is Robert, and Apartment 1303 has just been reviewed. And I found the twist at the end of the movie less shocking and more hilarious. It's just a guy standing in a field with his dick out, and a girl's face poorly pasted on top of the body, mouth inexplicably agape. Again, this may have been great back in 1983, but I'm not watching it in 1983, because I would have been 0 years old. And it kind of takes the steam out of your big shocking ending when it's really fucking funny.